Hello, 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 everyone. What is this? Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the second Daily 5 of the year. I'm your host, David Belibo. And today we are doing Magenta Feathers, which is the prompt of the day for the Daily 5 challenge. This month we are doing portraits with colors, so they're supposed to be monochromatic or, mostly monochromatic. Last week I didn't really do monochromatic, but I used the blue quite a bit. Today we will use magenta, which is kind of a pink, like a reddish, purpley pink. It is one of the primary color for print. And as I'm making sure that I can see the chat, let me know if you hear me well, see me well, all that jazz. Are those the names? Those are the names. Yeah. If you're on Instagram, don't be shy. I have my eyes on the chat. Happy New Year, if I haven't told you so already. Wishing you all the best for 2025. Definitely a lot of creativity. And as you can see, I already kind of started a quick sketch. I'm trying to think about an idea with magenta feathers. I got some reference pictures here to help me. And we'll talk about how AI is taking over Instagram, because there's only AI pictures on there anymore for reference pictures. I saw Sam's video from, what's his name? I draw Sam draws something about draws. Nothing is happening. I'm sector. I don't know what you expect of happening, but I'm about to start. But yeah, let me know if you hear me well and see me well for the time being. What I was saying, yeah, I saw the post of Sam's art, Sam's draw. I don't remember. And he was talking about how AI was just taking all the space on Pinterest, and I agree. It's a travesty. Like, all the images that I have here for today are almost like all AI based. But I want to talk about the pros and cons, because in this video he was talking about how it's just taking the space of everything, and I agree, and it's a shame. But at the same time, I don't think AI is all bad when it comes to like references. Like, certainly not if you're thinking about colors and style. There's things to be interesting, like, the colors for this one are nice, colors on this one, all of these, the colors are great. But obviously don't learn shadows, don't learn things that needs actual reference pictures like anatomy. Don't do that. But if you're just getting inspired from the colors, then yeah, that's all great. If you want anatomy resources, you should go towards artists that do those things with actual people. There's a ton of them out there. And I think more than ever, with AI taking the world, both in the art industry, but every other industry, I think it's going to be good to have relationships with human beings. So there's that. Also, just go back to your fellow human beings. So yeah, what am I doing here? That little brushy sketch is it's just kind of a sketch for me to think about what I want to do with the concept of today, and I'm just putting shapes in place to kind of think about what could I do with this prompt today. I'm thinking about just mixing a few references. It doesn't have to make sense necessarily. Trying to keep with the theme of magenta and probably birds. We'll have like a portrait, and then that's going to be like feathers, and then kind of a blue pink sky in the back. That's the idea so far. I'll try to execute. I did already a little warm up before that with those two portraits, so should be good to go. If you have any questions, if you want to talk about anything, please don't be shy. Got my eyes on you, both chats on YouTube and on Instagram. So let's jump right in. What am I doing? New layer. Let's delete a little bit of this and reconstruct. Like I was saying, like right now I'm gonna use this as my reference, and it's the reference is right here for people on Instagram. If you come on YouTube, you'll be able to see my references. I'm gonna use this as my reference because it's a real picture. How do I know? I don't know. These days I'm having a hard time making the difference between what is real and what is not, but I think it is, so hopefully it is. So yeah, let's paint some portraits. And if you want to have the full list of the prompts for the month, I pin it on the Instagram, so you can go check that. But in the meantime, I'll be trying to do this one. That's already wrong. I think the angle needs to be more like this and probably lower. Also, let me know, where are you in the world? I love to do this. For those people that didn't know, I am in Thailand, although we are planning on moving this year because of the environmental issues and pollution. Unfortunately, it's kind of like disastrous in Thailand right now with what they call the burning season, where all the farmers are burning their crops all at the same time, which is unfortunate. Hey BBS90 on YouTube. Happy New Year to you too. Welcome back. And Crazy DJ97. Hey, Montreal. Oh, did you know that's my city? Maybe you knew, but I'm born and raised in Montreal. How's the weather in Montreal right now? It's got to be cold, no? It's got to be cold. Funny enough, it's, I'm wearing a hoodie here and I'm in Thailand. Thailand is not hot everywhere all the time. There's a period of time, especially in the mountain where I live, that it's a little colder. And I want to say what's up, buddy, to Paper Indigo. How you doing? Yeah. So yeah, let's try to paint this. I feel super kind of rusty this morning. It's 9 a.m. for me, and even though I kind of warmed up and all, I just feel rusty. Are you just in Insta or elsewhere? I'm also on YouTube, Paper Indigo, and I'm working on the prompt. It's called Magenta Feather. It's the prompt of the day for the daily prompt. Crazy 97, you say it's really cold here. Yeah, deep winter right now. I know you had a French name, but didn't know you were from this town too. Yeah, yeah. You call it a town. My wife calls it a town too, and she bugs me with it. I consider Montreal a big city, but I guess it's not 7 million like Bogota, where's she from? But yeah, I'm a Montrealer. All my childhood friends are still back there. My family lives around Montreal as well. And I love Montreal, but still not planning to go back anytime soon. No particular reason. I'm just not done exploring the world. Generally, nice to know you're in the Southeast Asia region. Saying hi from Philippines. Oh, Philippines, that's nice. I wish I had the time to visit it before I leave Southeast Asia. But I'll be here probably like a little part of the year. I'm planning still to go to Asia, which Japan, because I haven't visited it, even though I've been here for years, and it's right there. Just slip through the cracks with time. And Philippines is also on the track. I have so many friends from there. I'd love to visit it. So yeah, taking my sweet time here. If you want to participate with me in doing this, please do so. These live sessions are more like a hang where I share some thoughts and the occasional tip than actual classes, so it gives you plenty of time to participate with me and paint the prompt of the day live in my presence, online presence. Man, so yeah, what I was talking about before that, it was the fact that Pinterest has only like AI images these days. And I saw the video posted, I think it was this week or last week, about, I can't remember his name, it's Sam. He's a guy from Toronto, amazing artist, amazing YouTuber. Anyhow, his last video was talking about how it's just annoying that all reference these days are kind of from like the AI. But if you're looking at them with just an open mind of like learning what can be learned from it, such as I think color schemes for the most part, you don't have to be scared. You can definitely learn from AI. Don't start learning from anatomy though. That's just not the way to go. I want to change the haircut for this. Yeah, don't try to learn anatomy. And I think that's what he was talking about in this video a little bit. Like people are starting to learn anatomy. And Paper Indigo, the prompts should be posted on the Instagram. You'll be able to recognize it. It's the first post and it's in green. And I misspelled the date on it. It says 2024 January. It's 2025 January. So no worries there. Sam does art. Thank you, Crazy D. Sam does art, yes. And so yeah, he was saying like that it's just a shame that all references these days are just kind of like AI based. But I think that if you take it as being just a source of inspiration and not a source for learning anymore, Pinterest is still very good. But if you want to learn, then I think these days, especially with AI being not perfect, you got to be careful where you take your reference pictures for anatomy, and making sure that if you're learning, to learn from actual artists, because there's a lot of crap out there, unfortunately. Are you so artistic? I love your work. Thank you so much, Magical Moment. I appreciate it. I am, yeah, definitely an artist. Definitely an artist. The good news of the day, I decided to launch Illustration for Imagination earlier this year. For all of you guys that missed it last year, it will happen in April this year. Mark your calendars. I'm also planning to relaunch the character challenge. I think I'm going to put like a feather coat on her, like this feather coat here. The character challenge will be also coming back, which I'm excited about. And so, yeah, if you missed it, we'll have it again. BVS 90, is Illustration for Imagination different to the DPA? Yes, it is. Where the DPA is what's known as a membership website where you pay a monthly fee and you get access to all my classes. The Illustration for Imagination is a one-off purchase where you keep access for lifetime access to the course. It's a 6 weeks mentorship program where you get me for literally 6 weeks. Actually, no, it's 8 weeks, I think. And I give you feedback on your work while you work with me. And that's the biggest part, really. The class is also very, very like in-depth to help you paint one illustration from imagination. And everybody works all together at the same time, which makes the community so much more valuable. Everybody helps each other. It's just a great event, period. And I launch it usually once a year only. And last year it was, I think, over summer in June, I want to say. June, July, something like that. And this year is going to be in April. So that's the biggest difference. Can we participate in IFI for the second time? Yes. If you are an IFI member, you keep lifetime access, period. That's another great gift to all the people that help me by joining the class. You'll never have to pay for that class ever no more. So each time that we're starting again, you get it. I got some people, I've been doing this class for like, I don't know, 6 to 7 years, I think. And some people participated every time. And sometimes we did it at two times a year. We missed 1 year, which was 2023. But we did it last year and we're going to do it this year. And I'm pretty much sure I'm going to do it for the rest after that. It's very hard. It worked with Sketchbook, but I still didn't get well. I don't know what you're referring to, Magical Moment. Wait. I don't know. Can you explain yourself, please? Tartan Star, that's awesome. Yes. Yes, you're welcome. You are welcome. And I'm super excited because also for me personally, as a teacher, it's just a really fun class to teach. All right, so we have, you know, I don't like her hair. I'm gonna change that. I think I prefer the hair with the girl with the little Lulu here. So yeah. I'm also planning on releasing my card deck this year. No idea when exactly, but I'm very excited about that project. And we'll continue to work on it during the year. So yeah. So yeah, if he's coming back, that's gonna be super fun. And character challenge is coming back. And I'm moving to Europe. In a nutshell, those are the news. Do you think it's benefits current DPA member as well. Yes, 100%. Depending on your level, like if you finish maybe the first and maybe second parts of the paths, you'll have all the knowledge needed to join IFI and get there. And as much as I am like in the community for the DPA, like all the time, sometimes it takes me a few days to answer, but I always answer everyone. The feedback in the IFI is just more in depth. Also, it's based on the project that everybody works together at the same time. It helps you on a different level, really. Like we have the portfolio builder now in the DPA, which was kind of a mini IFI in its own, but I cannot tell you how much having a whole community working all together at the same time on the same kind of project really helps boosting your progress. So just for that part, it's already really good. Plus the course itself, keeping lifetime access to it and being invited every year, it's also very, very good. I think I missed a few of them. How to find commissions? I'll answer that in a second. Are you actually going to start? Cheshire Charades. I don't know what you're referring to. I already started. And Tart 10 Star, you said I had to stop IFI partway through last time. I'm so excited to actually finish. Yes, no problem there. You'll be able to come back. So yeah. If you guys are interested to see like what kind of like work is done in IFI, you can go to paintable.cc/IFI-registration. And you'll be able to see I built the registration page with only the work from IFI students. So it's going to give you like a good example of what's possible and whatnot. Plus there's a ton of like testimonial in there if you want to know how people felt. There's like all sorts of kind of levels of people that go there. And you'll be able to read about it. Cheshire Child, sorry, I made a comment on the wrong live. I love your work. All right, all good, thanks. BBS, you say, is there a lot of crossover? Sum you up, sound exciting. Yeah, there is some crossover, yes, of course. But like I said, it's first of all, repetition on anything that you learn will always be good. But really, the biggest thing is the feedback. That's the feedback that you get to help you get there. It's also because it's structured in a way that the feedback comes at the right time for each of the steps, and I help you along the way. So it's also like it's a commitment. Like I'm not gonna, where the DPA you do it at your own time, and that's all great. The IFI is a commitment. It's 6 to 8 weeks where you have to submit your work. You have to push the envelope. Now I build a class to be able to do it in just like a couple of hours, a week, literally. Like if you put just a little bit of work, you'll be fine. But you have to put the work, otherwise you won't be able to finish on time. And if you don't finish on time, looking for the name here, like Tar 10 Star was saying, it's not a problem because you get invited each time that we started again. But all that to say that it is a commitment. It's not at your own pace like the DPA. So yeah, I tried to create basically a program that would be more affordable than an actual one-on-one, mentorship. Because these goes to like $1,000, $1,000+, especially for 2 months. Like I think Schoolism has one where it's like $9.99. I wanted something that gives you the same benefit, but more affordable. Last year it was, I believe, $497, I think, and $497 for a course that you keep lifetime access, the feedback of a live teacher, and you get invited each time. It's quite the deal. Just saying, not to, I preach my own church, yes, but it is quite the deal, just based on what I'm seeing online. And yeah, if you want to sign up, I'll start soon to talk about it even more over social media, in my newsletter list. I'm going to create a waiting list for people that wants to join, because I think also I'm probably going to like create a smaller, maybe like classroom this year, and just invite less artists, so I can even dedicate even more time to everybody in there. So yeah. Tulas Hofule, sorry if I mispronounced that. Hi from London, UK. Great work. Have you always lived in Thailand? How long for you? No, I haven't lived in Thailand my entire life. I am French Canadian from Montreal, but I've been here for about 5 years, back and forth, and I absolutely love it. I love the weather, I love the people, I love the community. Just something about it. And unfortunately, like I was saying, I am pushed out because the way the structure of the farmers is done here, everybody's like burning their crops to prepare for the next year, and it creates an amount of pollution that is beyond imaginable if you are like me, a Canadian or even an American. It's unfortunately, but it creates so much pollution that the air becomes hazardous. So my wife and I have decided to move this year, and we're thinking about going to Europe and establish ourselves there for a minimum of like a year and maybe forever, because we are looking for a home to keep growing the family and just find a forever home. I'm at the age now that I'm like, I love traveling, but I want a home base, so that's what we're looking for right now. So that's the whole explanation of why I'm here. Well, not really why I'm here. The reason I'm here is because it's awesome. Definitely come to Thailand, guys. It's awesome. Just don't come between February and June. Come after or before. All right. I like what I'm having right now. I'm having a hard time though. This morning I'm just kind of slow, but it's going somewhere. I think I'll be able to add some colors to that and make something out of it. Toulouse, London. Yeah, you know what? London sounds great, and I'll definitely visit. I haven't visited yet, but it sounds like it's gray and cold, which no. I'm all about hot and tropical, and so I'm thinking Spain or I'm thinking Portugal. Those are the two that are on my list right now. All right, how do I do this now? I just want to kind of prepare myself for I think this is going to be like a feathery, textury kind of thingy. I'm thinking also having like I don't know, some kind of feather looking textures on that thing to match the theme. And the background, I'm thinking kind of like these clouds I'm seeing on this other reference. And I'll put some few birds here. And maybe some glasses at the end, but I'll see that after. Yeah. I think I'm ready to put some colors on that thing. Uh-oh. Wait. Did I do this? Oh, okay. I put it under it. That still works. Alright. Let's put some colors on that thing. So the color for this one is magenta. What is magenta? To me, magenta is like a deep purple red. Like kind of this. Maybe a tiny bit more red, maybe. That's magenta to me. But doesn't mean I have to use it very like dark like this. I think I'm going to go towards the pinks a little bit more. But the idea would be to have monochromatic, because the theme of the month is monochromatic kind of portraitures. So I'm going to try to use only pinks in my colors for this one. So yeah. How many of you guys have done some resolution? And what were they? Do you want to paint more? Start a business? Lose weight? Become a monk? Why not? Let me know. Mine were to get back with the gym. I've been a new father last year, and unfortunately my health habit of going to the gym went through the window. I'm not blaming anyone for it, but yeah, it was just hard to keep the pace. So I want to get back down on track. So yeah. Toulouse, hopefully. What am I? Too lush of. Wait, I gotta. Can you break your name down for me? I want to be able to read it. Is it too lush of Yule? Nah. Can't seem to be able to read it. Let me know. Try to break it down for me, please. You say, I believe you are using Photoshop. Have you always considered using other painting program like Painter, Rebel? Yes, I tried a few. The main reason why I'm using Photoshop is because I was a graphic designer before. And when I started to learn digital art, it was just kind of like, you know, easier for me to just stay with a software that I already knew, because there's so many things to be learned for painting. If you have to learn the software on top of that, it makes things longer. So in my case, I was happy to be able to just use Photoshop and just continue using the software that I've been using for years. So that's the reason I'm using Photoshop. I think there's very good softwares out there. Clip Studio Paint is one of them. If I were not to use Photoshop, I think I'd be moving my skills to Clip Studio Paint. The first name is Tolu. Okay, there you go. So it's Tolu Shofule. Thanks for the precision. All right. All right. So pink. I'm gonna add some. Gonna add some clouds in the back. Try to go towards the blues, but not too much. And yeah. Let's add some. Technically, it's supposed to be monochromatic, but just bear with me. I wanna test some colors and see if I can just push a little bit more towards the purple. And it becomes, what I like to say, like, is that there's nothing that's always like purely monochromatic. Otherwise, it's kind of boring. So it's always like a little bit more of a analogous color scheme, sort of. So I'm checking to see if I'm able to actually like have a little bit of a analogous color scheme going on here. With the blues and the purples and the reds. And even the face could go towards the oranges a little bit more. Yeah. I'll try to finish this one before the 2-hour mark. It's usually the amount of time that I like to give to those lives. And it's also just a good reminder to all of you guys that the rules of the Daily 5 challenge, which is the challenge I'm doing right now with the prompts, you're not supposed to always spend a ton of time. I know I spend a lot more time on them, but the goal is really to just kind of like have fun with it and practice a little bit every day. I usually like to suggest 5 minutes. That's all it needs. With 5 minutes, you can do a quick sketch. You don't have to go into like a lot of details and colors and do the whole shebang like I'm doing right now. To gain momentum. The idea is to gain momentum. Is to start your year with some momentum. I'm gonna accessorize her later. Right now, I just wanna think about what's the light situation. I'm gonna start thinking about, wait, you know what? That's for that. I'm actually gonna put this on that, and I'm going to go towards a little bit more warmer tones. Maybe more saturation, orangey tones, something like that. Oops. And then I'll have some blue light for the light. Naturally, like adding blue lights or grays for your I'm gonna add some red around the eyes first, but adding some blue light for the for your highlights kind of looks really good, because usually the blue sky does that, so we're used to see those on pictures or on paintings. But I come to realize that what we believe are like rules of coloring and rules of lighting, it's really just because human beings as a whole, we've been seeing it so many times that we naturally feel like it's looking good. But I explained that in my FE course, actually, that warm light, cool shadows is a misconception. People think of it as being like the rule, but it's not a rule. It depends on your light sources and the colors of your light sources. Sometimes you'll have the opposite completely. Hi, Richard. Welcome to the live. And yeah, thank you. I'm doing Magenta Feathers, it's called. Trying to do the prompt of the day. So yeah, let's add some light to this. Trying to think about the color I want first. I think that's kind of cool looking. Some light there. There's gonna be some light on the nose for sure. Even the corner here of the eye. There's some shadows that I need to go add more intensively here for sure. Corner of the mouth. Painting with shapes, guys. I'm telling you, the second I started to do painting with shapes with a hard edge brush, these kind of marks really help you to establish a lot of life to your painting, portrait, anything really. It makes things easier. It makes things more interesting. I'm going to add some more deeper shadows with a multiply layer. And this is supposed to be sharper there. And I have it on a separate layer. I might look afterwards if it's the right color that I want for this shadow. And I'm doing the face now, but I'll do the rest of the body as well. I just usually like to do the face first. If the face works well, then I feel comfortable doing the rest. Could probably add colors for your eyes. I'm thinking maybe a contrast of some sort would be interesting. The complementary color would be like a blue-green, I guess. Blue-green would be interesting, but I might go and do something a little bit more desaturated, so it's not that obvious. So yeah. And I'm also going to just add a little bit of shadows here to indicate the form of this, call it structure for now. It's kind of a mix of like a boa and some bird-like feather body. I'm gonna keep it real loose for now, and I'll be adding some details afterwards. And probably I can think of the hair. Let's do this like that. Like the her original hair was like different haircut, but I'm basing my haircut of this one, which has a different lighting. Still gonna stay on this one for the lighting. The way you do like illustration from imagination, no matter if it's a portrait or anything else, is really by understanding as much as you can lighting, coloring. These are the principles that will allow you to create something out of your mind and then kind of merge whatever you're creating with your knowledge of lighting and coloring. At least that's how I like to think about it. Tartan Stars, I love the green eyes, thanks. Yeah, I think that's the right touch. And it's not about not, I want to remind that to everybody, it's not about not using reference pictures. That you use reference pictures or not, you're still painting from imagination. Like this is a collection of like reference images and inspiration to create a unique image. That doesn't exist before, therefore, ergo, it is from my imagination. And that's how I've been approaching all my art. When I want to do something from imagination. All right, I want to try to maybe merge the lines now and kind of polish a few things. I'm just thinking maybe the skin tone could have a little bit more of different colors. I'm gonna use a overlay brush, or actually maybe just a normal one actually. I'm just gonna add different kind of colors that I really like to have just a little bit more of a warmish tone. It's already better, I think. And maybe the feathers, actually, the feathers could use some maybe some purplish lights. Let's see my reference. Let's see the bird here. We have some of this and maybe some of that where the light will be shining, so maybe there and there, and then some more pink there. Like, I don't want to go too far from what's already there, but just adding a little bit of hue shift will help to make sure that this doesn't look boring at the end. I think it's already better, just a little bit. Alright, let's start painting on top of the lines, shall we? That's the moment where I zoom real hard and now I'm starting to add more details. You know, one thing I could do that I don't do often is to colorize the lines. The idea is to colorize the ones that are not occlusion shadows. So the eyebrows, for example, these are not occlusion shadow, but the one around the eyes, this is occlusion shadows, but the one of the iris, that's not occlusion shadow. The one under the eyes, that's not occlusion shadows. And this is going to help to just get me started with the rendering, making it less hard to to paint on top of the lines. Maybe this is different color, this. Like here we have a mix of like occlusion shadow and stuff, so I'm gonna keep it darker a little bit. This I can keep it hard a little bit more. I think all the hair I can actually paint over with a different color. And I'll do the same for the coat here. Everything else can have the same color for the lines. Alright, now let's start rendering. That's where I like to sometimes make things a little bit softer using the smudge tool. Then you start going into details. So yeah, I asked earlier, but I don't know if anybody answered. What are your resolution for the year? Do you have a big project that you want to realize? Mine is to launch IFI, obviously once more, but also to finish my card design that I started last year. It's taking me more time than I thought, especially because I get stuck into like trying to promote the thing. So I want to make a YouTube video. It's been a long time since I made a YouTube video, and now I've been like spending like almost more time on the video than the actual art, which is totally a shame. But it's important. Actually, I was having a call with a friend of mine that lives in Berlin yesterday, and he wants to start a creative project himself. And we were talking about the importance of promoting yourself as an artist, and how telling stories of your art is important to get people to care. That's basically what social media is, really. We're just all there telling the best story we can to inspire people and help them have an interest in what we do. Let me know if you agree or disagree with that statement. But if you were to see my social media, you could think that like I want to post and do Instagram stuff and all of that, and it's not really like what I really want to do is paint all day. But it's important to take the time to promote what you're doing so that people care. That's the power of social media. That's the reason why some people are able to literally generate fortunes. Just think about Mr. Beast. You know, he created a whole new genre of promotion by doing his videos. And although I don't really like what he does, I'd be a fool to not say that he definitely made a mark when it comes to promotion, when it comes to social media, that a lot of people are following now. So it's definitely important to keep pushing your skills of telling stories, making people care about your work. Chris Brooks, you're saying my New Year resolution is 600 PPI. That's referring to the quality of your art. Is that what you mean? I'm not sure. And Jackie Flores, hi, welcome back. You say your resolution is this year is hopefully to put together a portfolio. Fingers crossed. Yeah, good luck with that. I think your portfolio is it's a great place to start. And Tolu, you say finish my children's picture book, be more visible online like you. That's a great goal. And picture book, that's super cool. Congrats on that project. That's cool. You know, I'm a father this year. I'm a father. It's been already like technically 2 years, I guess, but not really. But I'll let to say I'm a new father as well, and I thought, because I'm such a child myself, that as soon as my son would be born, I would want to create some art book. And I'm not gonna lie, the idea is still very much there. Just have so many other projects I want to start first, but I would love to probably do something for my son, I was super inspired. There's another artist I'm following. He's doing these super cool Christmas cards for his kids every year, and he paints them in the card with like their appropriate age. So every year you have a card with like Santa Claus, and on that card you're getting older, basically. It's just, I don't know, I thought it was magical personally. And it got me inspired, but I unfortunately don't have the time this year to do anything about it. So maybe next year. All right, I'm already zooming too much. I should zoom out a little bit. The idea is to render the whole thing within the next hour, so it cannot be already painting small details. I'm probably going to use like a lot of texture for this one. I've been doing that for the past few illustration. I like to say that it's like a JC Leyendecker inspired technique, because he did a lot of texture, but he kept his semi-realistic style. Now, I'm not going to pretend that I'm as good or even as close as good as JC Leyendecker, but I've been working on that technique for a few months now. I'm pretty happy where it goes. Able to just have a more natural flow of adding texture to my illustrations. When I started years ago, when I started to learn digital painting, I used to finish my paintings and then I would add like a paper texture on top of it, or like some sort of very heavy texture, and put it like in transparency with like multiply, and leave it as is. I had no idea how to really incorporate the textures into my art. If it's your case, don't feel bad. All I'm saying is I've been there myself. You'll learn the right way, but definitely stop doing that as soon as you learn the right way, because it doesn't look great. It's better to, like, the way to add texture for me now is to incorporate it into your rendering. So essentially what I'm trying to do is to render the form, and as I'm rendering the form, I'm playing with the edges and try to add texture while rendering the form, essentially. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. All these little marks and stuff. It's just a way to keep it looser, keep it more fun. So yeah. And thanks for sharing your resolution, guys. I appreciate it. I'm always sad every year that the holiday finishes. I'm a huge fan of the holidays. For a few years, if you follow Paintable, you saw me probably like painting like a bunch of like painting that were like holiday related. But then I learned my lesson. I feel like it's not a lot of people that like to paint holiday related paintings. I think I was kind of alone. Nico, I'm learning how to shade. Thank you for showing us. You're absolutely welcome. you're absolutely welcome. And this is one technique that I like, but there's also many others. If you're like learning for yourself, I'd suggest trying a few. I'm just thinking with like the AI world that, you know, can do like some very amazing rendering in seconds. I like to get to a more textury style now. It's not to say that AI isn't able to do that exactly. I'm sure it's able to do everything now. But I just thought, why am I doing art? And it's not to impress. It's to have some fun with it. And I have fun when I create just new stuff. And I love to paint a lot. So I figured out that if I were to spend more time on each painting, I'd paint less. And ultimately I want to paint more. So transforming a style where it gives me the freedom to turn projects faster so I can paint more, ultimately serves the right purpose for me. But everyone is different. That's just me. So yeah, you can let me know if you agree with this. All right. All right. I think I can push a little bit more the hair now. So for the hair, I have another reference. It's right here. If you're on Instagram, you can come to YouTube if you want to see the reference at all time. They're on the screen. But I want to do kind of a mix of like the highlights should be kind of here. I'm going to create a new layer. That's the highlights, I believe. That should be around here. I'm going to keep them kind of loose-ish. And just like that. It's crazy like what a few marks sometimes can do. Like these highlights, you know, like they're nothing precise, but you just add that and it adds like a little flair of something. And I just love this. If you want the same brushes that I'm using, I give them for free. They're called the D5 brush pack. If you're on Photoshop, if you're on YouTube, you should be able to see a link in the video. And if you are on Instagram, I believe you only have to do D5 in the chat right now if you're live with me, and I set up an automation that will send you these brushes to your DM. They are absolutely for free, no strings attached. Sorry, sometimes I forget that Instagram you cannot see everything. Here's another way that I've been starting to do hair. What I'm doing right now is I'm taking the color of the hair, I'm painting on the background like this, and I pick a bit of a color, and then I kind of paint that a little bit like around the form. And what it does is it kind of mimics the transparency of the hair that has Um, Tartan Star, you say, I love the holiday theme projects. Don't let the Grinches get you down. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I don't really. It's just this year I was also like real busy, but it's probably gonna come back. I don't know if I'll make it like public for everyone to participate in, because maybe that's it's more like a personal thing. But yeah, no, I won't let the Grinches get me. You know, one of the favorite things that I had as a kid was my mom would buy me an advent calendar, which now my wife does, even though I'm 42. And I absolutely love it. And what I love the most about having this this calendar was that I was looking at the art cover on it, and I was able to just kind of like, I don't know, imagine myself into it. And I always loved just the warm lights over the cool blues, the warm orange lights over the cool blues that a wintry scenes in North America at the very least has. Which is another thing that I've been like missing out while living here. Even though I wouldn't change my tropical weather for the harsh winters of Montreal no more. But during the holiday, I always crave it a little bit. Having these snowy day, covering the streets with fluffy snowflakes. Yeah, that's something I miss a little bit. All right. I think I'm going to try to push the feathers a little bit, the background a bit, and then I'll do a round of details, and that'll be it. Sanjit, you say, great to see you again. I really love your previous session. Thanks for coming back. Yeah, you're welcome. You know, I do that every week, most weeks. It's pretty rare that I miss it. One reason being I love to do it. The other reason being is the reason I was talking when we started the live. It's important to promote yourself as an artist, and this is the way I promote myself, by coming live and painting, which ultimately is a lot of fun for me. Really. So you're welcome. I appreciate that you appreciate, and welcome to you for coming back, really. Looking forward to see you every week. And if you want to see the screen, you can, a bigger screen, you can come to Photoshop. You'll be able to see me paint on a bigger screen for those interested that are on Instagram right now. Jackie, you say, by the way, I saw an email that there might be a new 1 week character challenge. The last one was so much fun. Yes, it's absolutely correct. We are going to have the 1 week character challenge coming back this year, most probably in March, right before I open the doors to IFI. That's usually the challenge that I'm using to promote IFI. Promotion being super important as an artist, entrepreneur like myself and many others. So we'll have the challenge. I'm looking forward to see how I'm going to do the lives. They were fun last year, and I would definitely want to do some. So there's going to be some live events in March. So for all of you interested, definitely mark that on your calendar. All right, let's do some feathery textures here a little bit. I'm going to create a new layer, and it's going to be important, I think, to kind of mix some of the background colors and white on the outside to make it feel like it's in its environment. Yeah. Sanjit, you say, I've got a quick question for you as an artist. How does increasing follower and likes impact your workflow and keep you motivated? I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna lie. Having more followers and likes is a little bit of a vanity metrics, but it does encourage you to show up and continue. Like, it has an effect. Like, everyone, I think, in this world, we're all affected by the way social media is affecting us in good ways, in bad ways. It brings us more together. It sucks us into the machine and make us lose time. There's goods and bad to it. But as an artist, I think it's important to be surrounded by the right people. And so having a community for me was super important. Just this, me able to talk with you right now. You know I don't see you, but this is a real conversation when I'm having a real human being. It's important. It's important to share. Actually, I was thinking about like trying to see if I'm able to, once I'm in Europe, to make like in-persons, like challenges kind of thing and mini classes. That's how I started when I was in Berlin. But it does not impact my workflow per se, but it definitely impacts my motivation, to answer your question. I definitely more motivated when I see one of my reels doing better. It gives me a boost of confidence. I'm like, all right, so I'm doing something good. And when something is not doing super good, yeah, it affects me. Now, does it affect me so much that I'm not able to sleep and I stop working? No, because I work my way through the hardship of learning how to push through. Especially if you want to be a professional, you will have to learn to let go of expectations. But I'm not perfect, guys. I also have expectations, and it's just normal to want to make an impact, no matter how small or how big you want it. Making an impact is important. I think it's one of the key component of being a human being, is that we are beings of communities and gatherings. At the very least, that's my opinion. That's what I believe. So let me know if that resonates with you. Yeah. What was I doing? The feathers. Let's try to... I got the right colors now. I think I want to look at this a little bit and see how can I do this? There's like a core that's like darker here. I'm going to do a new layer just in case. I'm going to do some testing. There's a core that's like darker. And then there's like deeper shadows and stuff. I'll try that. Sanjit, another question. Does it create a pressure for you anytime to post regularly, even if you don't feel like posting sometimes? Yes, there's definitely a little bit of pressure to keep performing, to keep showing up. But the reality is you cannot avoid it. It's unavoidable. Is that a word? This is just the way. If you want to, but it's not true. I'm sure there's other ways. This is the way I decided for myself. I decided to promote myself through social media. And to promote myself through social media, I have to jump in some of the loops and hoops of the medias. And so, what does that mean? It means that I found systems and ways to create work on a constant basis. For example, this live, this is promotion, right? It promotes me as an artist. It helps me communicate with my audience. It's also super fun. And what I do with the painting that I'm doing after that is I'm creating a reel and then I post that. So that's one reel every week that I know I have the painting ready for. I don't have to think about what to do. I just do the prompt of the day with you guys, and then I'm able to post that, right? Other days, I try to paint paintings that I like, and then post the process. And then sometimes you create more than one post with the process. I mean, I won't go into like the details of like social marketing and whatnot. There's many ways you can do, but yeah, there's a little bit of pressure. It's just part of the reality, really. Okay, I have no idea what I'm doing here. Here's a lesson for you watching right now. These daily fives, the way I do them, sometimes bring me to places that I realize while making it that I have no idea. This feathery coat is one of them. I have no idea how to do this, so I'm going to try some stuff. But if I were to want to do an actual feathery coat, before I would have done a study, probably multiple studies, and practice how to create these, and then create a way that ultimately works for me. But unfortunately, I do not have this possibility today, because I show live and I'm doing live. So I think I'm just gonna add a bunch of texture and kind of like wing it, and hopefully it's going to look good. I'm also going to mix different textures later on. I'm going to add some like feathery textures to it and whatnot. I think that's going to be cool. But ultimately what I'm trying to do is just create some more volume, really. And I'm going to create some highlights afterwards. Senjit, could you please share your journey from zero and how you were able to build the stability for yourself, and how did you overcome the struggle over the years? I mean, yeah, why not? Thanks for asking. I guess some people that follow me should already know this, but before being an illustrator, I was a graphic designer. I was living in Montreal, and in 2016, I moved to Berlin and decided to become a full-time artist. So thank you, Tarzan. I'll definitely wing it. Decided to become a full-time artist, and after a while I started to teach, and the teaching for me was kind of a aha moment. But let me go back a little bit. So graphic designer for years, I did that for 10 years, and I was never really satisfied with the creativity that being a graphic designer would provide. So sorry, I'm doing two things at the same time. So yeah, I was always like just not super happy with where I was as a creative. I've chosen the world of graphic design because I wanted to be creative, and it was just not fulfilling that thing for me, where I thought illustration would. Illustration is about creativity. It's about pushing the limits of visuals, and that's what I really like. So all that to say that I started to look into digital art, and at the time there was not much to learn from, so I learned over whatever I could find, bought myself a few classes online, and took it from there. Fast forward a few years, I earned my skills, I moved to Berlin, I started teaching, and I just kind of fell in love with the process of teaching, being able to pass my knowledge to others that were on the same path as I was. And I started Paintable, and that's it's been 8 years now, I think, that I now am a full-time teacher and artist. During those years, I accumulated a few contracts, few projects, but my main passion was to teach. I'm trying to now this year create more projects for me and kind of get back into the role of like doing illustrations a little bit more. I'll still teach, but because I've been saying no so many times, because I wanted to work on Paintable and on my business, people started to not reach out for me no more. I kind of want to change that now. So I'll keep on teaching, but I want to create more projects. So the cards project, the playing cards project that I'm working on, is kind of the beginning of that journey for me, where I want to create more art and potential products with my art. So that's what I'm all about for 2025, I think. I don't know if I answered all the questions. Hopefully that gives you a little bit more of a perspective of who I am, what I did. If you have more questions, please let me know. Sanjit, all questions are welcome. All right, I'm going to add some very bright highlights. And the reason I'm going to do this is because if you do this, then the inside doesn't need as much detail, because people will look to the high contrast of those feathers. And I'm not going to go into too much details also with this. It's more like just to push the... It helps as it creates a just a contrast and almost like an outline to read the form a little bit better. I'm gonna see if it works on the nose. Something like that. Sanjit, could you please share one lesson being an artist that stuck with you throughout and you've been following it? Dude, I love your questions, by the way. Keep them coming. I mean, there's so many lessons, and obviously it's like in hindsight, once you have did the journey, some lessons becomes more evident than others. So let me start with this. Don't try to do anything perfect. Just do. You'll learn from your mistakes way faster than overthinking what you want to do. And that's advice, I guess, that I would give to anybody for anything, not just art. Just do and figure it out from there. But when it comes to my own journey, and if I were to look back, if it's a tip for skills, I'd say focus on core techniques. And what are core techniques are the losing the word for it, but perspective, coloring, lighting. These three things are essential, and on any pieces that you'll do, understanding them just a little bit will go a long way. This is how I teach in pretty much all my big classes. Illustration for Imagination, that's exactly what we do throughout the lapse of 8 weeks, and then we apply that to an Illustration for Imagination. So learning color theory, enough of perspective that you understand it, and the light theory will just, will change your art forever and the way you see the world forever. So I would have definitely started with that sooner than later. And then I think for me is consistency. My first few years before I moved to Berlin were not super consistent. There was that phase also where I wasn't sure what I would do with my new found passion of art. And I lost a lot of time not being consistent. This is one of the reasons why I started the D5 challenge. It's not so that you have to paint just 5 minutes. It's so that you have just taking out the pressure of having to paint giant pieces all the time and being like, you can just do a little bit of time every day and it's going to make a huge difference. Right now I'm reading a book. It's a book about about money. It makes no difference. It's not about art, but it's called The Psychology of Money, I believe. And what it's talking about is the principle of compounding interest, and how to fructify your money a little bit better throughout years. And I think it's a principle that I've been like telling to a lot of people for art for years already. It's funny that I'm learning for my own finances to do it, because I should do that even more. But I like that principle of like, you can do just a little bit every day, and every day it's going to compound. It's not about spending 6 hours on a painting and finish that painting and then being happy or disappointed with it. It's about the small efforts that you're doing every day. And totally, you say, what about anatomy? Anatomy comes after understanding these big principles. Sketching comes afterwards. So understanding a little bit of light, a little bit of perspective, a little bit of coloring opens your world. Then you want to be good at sketching, because sketching is what you need to be able to paint from imagination, because the sketch is the base, it's the blueprint towards a painting. And so when it comes to sketching, then comes more perspective and specializations, such as anatomy. It's a specialization. You don't have to paint characters, you can paint cubes and spheres, and everybody knows about cubes and spheres. We're able to understand them in our brains. We already have studied them because they're basic forms. Anatomy, they're complex forms. Don't think about anatomy as like, oh, I'm painting human beings, although you are, and you're learning about muscles that will go on animals and other things. You're understanding principle that goes beyond just one thing. Think about anatomy as being complex shapes. It's like a big puzzle with different shapes, and understanding the 3D form of every pieces will help you to paint eventually from imagination, or to understand reference pictures. So it comes in a second time for me, anatomy. You want to, and this is for me, this is based on my journey. This is based on things I like to do also. I'm a firm believer that if you don't have fun with your paintings, you'll quit. So I'm not the kind of teacher that's going to tell you like, make 100 cubes for 3 weeks so you can understand how to do perspective. That's boring. But I'll tell you that yes, doing some cubes as a warm-up before doing the painting that you're passionate about, that's definitely a good warm-up. So yeah, that's my cue on it. Hopefully this is helpful. Crazy D, you say, hey David, a quick question. If you know any info on where I can check online for good photo bashing techniques beside YouTube. Let me think. No, I don't think so. It depends also on what you want to do, but photo bashing, like professional, for like doing some like maybe like some scenery and art and stuff like that. I don't have a course to recommend, although I'm sure there's something on Domestika and or Skillshare for sure. There's also a lot of artists that use it in different ways. If you're looking at Ross Draws, everybody knows Ross Draws. Amazing artist. Looks like a cool dude too. I'd love to meet him at some point. And for years, he was doing these really cool, he still does that, I think, a bit. These really cool painting where you would take the picture of something and then transform it completely into something else. That's one way to do photo bashing. And there's other ways where you take photo bashing and you take things and you kind of build up. There's the guy that does, what does he have? Control Paint. Forgot his name. Control Paint. His courses are really great. I have some of them myself, and he shows techniques also in there where he uses pictures and put them in transparency just to start like adding details. Think about like if you have like a big city and you have a wall with with wires and electric boxes and all sorts of like things like that. You can take pieces of this and then place it there and then paint just a little bit more of like the lighting and the coloring and adding whatever elements of the basic core foundation that I was talking about. And then it transforms your painting into something that has a lot more details much faster. So there's different ways to do it, but as to point you in a direction of like one course that will kind of englobe all of these things, I'm sorry, I don't have that in mind. We do use photo bashing into the illustration for imagination, where I teach this technique that I just talked about and show example out of it. And it's good to know, but it's not necessarily a, I'm not going to do that there. It's not necessarily a, why am I going to do that there? Yeah, it's not necessarily a technique that I use often. I like to use it when I'm doing sceneries a lot more, and well, I've been doing a lot of portraiture a lot more for the past few years. So what I'm doing right now, just so you guys know, because that's cool to understand, is I'm adding a little bit more contrast where the white is, which helps to make the illustration pop a little bit more. I think I'm going to try to, whoops. Something like that. But yeah, Sanjit, if you're still with me, thanks for the question, buddy. That was super nice. If you have more, let me know. There's still about half an hour to this live, so I got some time. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with the illustration so far. The feathery thing, like I said, I would probably spend more time pushing that and learning about it. I got some other like feathery things, but I think I'm just going to hope that by adding a little bit more texture, it just helps. Sanjit, I've heard and seen many people say that your own experience becomes a huddle after a period of time. So as an artist, have you felt any time? Because you've been really experienced in this field. Do you mean a hurdle or a huddle? Because I'm not sure if I understand if you say huddle. Let me know and I'll try to give you an answer to this. I think we have a delay. With the live. I mean hurdle, yeah, right, okay. So let me read the question again. So have you heard my own experience? That your own experience becomes a hurdle after a period of time. No, personally, you know, it's funny to say that because I think it's a question of perceptions. And I'm working this year on changing my perceptions. I've been trying to do everyday affirmations to stay more positive, because I think the way you see and perceive life and your circumstances affects a lot more your reality than your reality itself, if that makes sense. What I mean by this is that like sometimes you struggle as a human being, no matter if it's with art or with anything else. And let's take a concrete example of like you comparing yourself to other artists, and you're like, oh, people are better than I am, and they're achieving greater success than I am, and sometimes I get myself sucked into that as well. And instead of keeping my brain there this year, I want to try to change the way I approach it by, I mean, I'm still very new to all of it, so I'm not perfect right now, but by just changing the way I feel about my circumstances. So everybody has hurdles, and if you feel like your art is not going in the right way, and you're too slow, and it's just never good enough, maybe you have to reevaluate why you don't think it's good enough and start changing your perception towards more positive affirmation, such as focusing on progress, stopping comparing yourself, and realizing that nobody can be you. Only you can be you, and it's no point to compare yourself to someone else because you'll never be them. It's not a competition. There's no race to win. There's no ending to this. This is a journey of self-discovering and it's you against you when you think about it. I don't know if I answered that correctly. Hopefully that was didn't sound it too mushy bushy. But I am trying to learn how to deal with my own mental health. I think it's a taboo subject that a lot of people don't talk about, but we're all affected by. And as artists, like comparing yourself is unhealthy, and we all need to make effort towards appreciate the journey and where we are. At least I believe in that. So yeah, let me know, Sanjit, if that was satisfactory as an answer. And Tolu, you say you're right. You versus you. Yeah, you versus you. It's funny because I didn't like this you versus you for a long time. I'm glad you thought it was amazing, Sanjit. I'm glad that you liked this. I truly believe in this. And yeah, you versus you. And I always had the hardest time. Like, I still do. Like, I'm saying things that I'm not even ready to really share, guys. But yeah, I'm working on it, because even to this day, I usually, unfortunately, feel very competitive towards others. Like you give me someone to surpass, some sort of target towards another artist or another style or anything really, and I feel this urge of being like competitive. And I think it's stupid unhealthy. I'm trying to change that as soon as possible. I let it there for years, kind of unaware of what was happening. And I think like I had a discussion towards the end of the year last year with another friend of mine. She's an artist, and I just kind of say it out loud, and I was like, you know what? That's ugly, and I want to change it. And it's going to require work to change my mindset. So that's why I started to do some affirmations and kind of realized, I talked with another my friend that works also in the same field, kind of, and I think what I realized while talking to him is that it's important to keep your mind in check by either having some support that can be friend or family, that can be also professional support from like professional of the mental health, or it can be also to just have a constant game plan of being surrounded by positive affirmations and positive messages. In my case, what I've been focusing on is doing some affirmation, but also to find like what's the name for it? Not blog post, it's podcasts. Podcast of other artists, podcast of, in my case, I love, I'm working on marketing a lot, so having other marketers, and every places where I feel like there's a stress or I feel a little bit like negative, I'm trying to now find like material I can consume that's going to be turning my mental health into positive thinking, basically. And it's hard, guys. It's work. It's literally work. There's no magic pill for this. Your mind has been repeating itself probably for, in my case for sure, for years, the same bad thoughts, bad words, bad mentality. And so I'm trying right now to, when I have a bad thought, to stop myself and ask myself why. And it helps you to actually like break down your patterns a little bit. That alone is hard work. And then once you understand a little bit more of that, you're able to figure it out. All right, what do you need for it? Do you need some inspiration? Do you need to talk to someone? Do you need whatever what you need, right? It just gives you like a pathway to start from there. Honest, you say on average, how many hours should one spend on studying compared to personal work? I like to say 50-50, really, especially at the beginning. Do a lot of studies and transform these studies into painting afterwards. Like, for example, you could see this painting. Consider that I could have done a study of the feathers, a study of the portrait, and put those two together to create an illustration, right? It's a bit of how I like to approach it. Learn something, and then don't just leave it as a study. Transform it into something else. We're painting digitally. We can do so many things. So 50-50 would be what I would say. Sanjit, you say, but sometimes I felt that it's hard to unlearn something I learned and comfortable with and relearn in a different way. So how do you see it? Please share your thoughts. Well, I think I just did. Let me know if that was enough for you. And Tole, you say you've done very well. Well done to you. Thank you. And what do you think about getting burnout? I think burnout is a real thing, and everyone should be allowed to feel compassion towards themselves when they feel like they reach that point. And the idea is to not get to that point. I think it's to be just kind of gentle with yourself. Everybody says that from time to time, at least to me, is they're like you're judging yourself too hard. Well, I am judging myself too hard, and you probably do too. Most people do. You know, we have standards, we have goals, we want to reach them, and when we don't reach them, the first person that we blame, if it's not people around us, it's us, you know? And both of those answers are wrong, because it's nobody's fault. It's just the process of things takes time sometimes. It's just a journey. There's, like I said, there's no goals, there's nothing right, there's nothing wrong. And I'm not talking to you right now. I'm talking to myself and to you, but I'm talking to myself. You have to repeat yourself these things. You have to repeat them, not for a few days, not for a few weeks. You have to repeat them for a few years. It's hard work, and you have to be consistent about it. The same way I'm consistent about posting reels, I have to be consistent about everything else. This is how you break the bad habits. Crazy D, you say, I think if it's well managed, it can push someone to become better. But it's true that it can become toxic and unhealthy. I'm assuming you're talking about the comparison. Yes, if you're using comparison as like a standard, like I compare myself, I want to reach that. That's good. That's healthy. That's fine. But if you keep telling yourself that you're not good enough, and that you'll never be, or things like that. That becomes real unhealthy real fast. All right, I got 15 minutes. Thank you so much for the great talks today, guys. This was really a cool live. I love the question. Thank you, Sanjit. So many questions came from you. I invite everybody else to shoot your questions the next time I go live, because I love it. I'll try to finish this real quick. I think it's pretty much already where I want it to be, but I think I can maybe add some more interest to the piece by just adding some by adding some accessories, like a couple of birds there. I think I saw some cool earrings here. I'm gonna try to maybe I can add some cool earrings maybe on her, and maybe some glasses, but I think glasses would take too much time and just have 15 minutes. Senji, you said it was really thoughtful to hear from you because you already shown techniques about art and stuff, but it's really important to know about the story behind the artist. Yeah, I agree. That definitely inspired a newbie like me. Yeah, well, I'm glad I was able to inspire you, Sanjit. And yeah, please just join me here every week. I'll be happy to be part of your journey. And you can join also the Discord community. I unfortunately don't spend as much time as I would like in the Discord community for everybody that's already there. But it's still a very good community where people are genuinely helping each other towards their goals. So if you need some people with a good heart surrounding you towards your journey, that's definitely a good place to start. I don't know where I would like to have this highlight. Maybe here? I think that's not too bad. Thanks a lot for the sharing, and definitely love to hear more about you next week. Sounds good. Sounds good. I'll take your word for it. Looking forward to see you back. Next week we are doing... What are we doing next week? Let me go check. Prompt list. For everybody who wants to participate in the prompt list, the prompt list is attached on the first post on Instagram. And next week I'm doing Peach Haze. I guess I'm going to do some clouds also. I just thought about that. Maybe I should have done clouds today. What can I do? About 12 minutes left. There's a bunch of details I could also add in the hair and stuff, but I don't think I'll have the time to add too much, because we're about to finish. But here, just a few lines already helps. I love this. You know what? That's why I love the Daily 5, because you have a time constraint. I mean, it was a very long time constraint for me, but it can be 5 minutes, an hour, 20 minutes, whatever you want. You give yourself a time constraint, and then you're like, all right, I need to finish it, and then it helps you create or discover new techniques sometimes. It's just fun. It's liberating. It feels good to just kind of let go of the expectation and try new things without judging yourself. Okay, what can I do in 10 minutes? That's the idea. I love the glasses, but I don't think I have the time. Maybe I do. We'll see. Wait. We're talking about photo bashing. You know what I'm going to do here? I'm going to take this thing right there, all these little glitters from this pictures. If you're not on YouTube and you're on Instagram, I'm taking it from the reference picture that I have. I'm gonna put that there, and bam, instant texture. Put that in transparency, and it doesn't look good. Can I do something with it? Let's see if I can do something with it, but yeah, no, I don't like it. All right, I thought I would do this. I'm just gonna maybe just add some basic lighting in it with a little bit of shadow here and there. Maybe some of that, some of this. Sometimes just paint a few highlights on something and kind of looks good enough. I'm hoping it's going to be the case with those earrings. And then under it, I could put just a little bit of a shadow. Nah, that's not too bad. 8 minutes. Can I do glasses? If I were to do glasses, I would probably do them round, because this way I would lose less time. I have to play with the perspective of it all. That'd be nice. Kind of cool, huh? Alright, let's try. I'm gonna make an ellipse. I think that's about the right size. Whoops. Duplicate this. Change a little bit. This and this. It's not perfect, but it's kind of okay. Let's merge it. Sorry, I lost the chat while I was doing all of this. Sorry, let me go back to the chat. Sent you to say, and the first person to spell my name correct. Really? That's cool. I mean, I was supposed to mean pronounce, but all right, that's awesome. Shade the earrings. Yeah, hopefully I did a little bit of that. Do you use a lot of layers? I usually try to paint on only one layer, but as I'm adding stuff, I start adding a little bit more layers and then merge them down. Tolu. Sanjit, could you please explain about blending shadows and skin tone? I can definitely do that maybe next week. Can we how much different it makes? Crazy. Thanks, Tartar. Yeah. I think that looks good. Huh? Let's try to do this. 5 minutes. Can I make glasses in 5 minutes, guys? Probably. I just have to add some metal now. I'm going to delete what's on the nose here. Create a new layer. Probably make the gold metal. let's do this like that, and then just some. All right, I'm gonna take a different brush for this. There you go. Technically this, but we're gonna put transparency to that thing here. And then let's add some reflection and whatnot. I might add, like this might be darker. You might have a little bit of the reflection of outside here. The hair here might go over it a little bit as it's going there. So let's do this. Okay, I don't want to overdo it. I just want to add a few reflection here and there, and let's add some of these cool highlights right there, maybe there, maybe some of there. I'll definitely add some reflections for the glasses right here, maybe something here as well. It's far from being perfect. I'm gonna add a shadow also afterwards. For now, I just want to create a little bit more of 3D aspect of those glasses. They don't have to be perfect. Remember, finish is better than perfect. And that's what I'm trying to do. Finish them. I'm going to try to get inspired from the lighting of the reference that I have on my right to kind of create, maybe with an overlay, maybe with an overlay layer, or maybe a multiply, some sort of shadow that comes. I'm not too sure because I don't have the right angle of the light for this one, so I don't know. I'm gonna wing it and say that this is about it. Would it be there? No. It'd be maybe there. Deleting this and this. Sorry, Instagram. Sometimes I lost track of where I am on the screen. It's just a little bit of a shadow there and a little bit of a highlight. And this for don't know how close of the face it is. Maybe something like just this. For now. All right. What do you guys think? So you say, how can I remind you about the question I ask you right now? You could come to the tribe on Discord and shoot your question in there. the tribe is a very special community where you can actually tag my name when you want me to look at your stuff. And I'm doing that because people don't abuse of it. So you can definitely join the community and tag my name on Discord. I'll go check your question as soon as I see it. Looking really cool. Thank you guys. Amazing, truly great. All right, thank you guys. I think that was the last bit of it. I could definitely work on those glasses, but again, I'm going to repeat it. Finish is better than perfect, guys. This was fun. I think I'm pretty happy with what I've created here. Love the textures. It's kind of cool. Jackie said great live. Really love her flamingo shape coat. Nice touch with the sunglasses. Thank you so much. I'm not in love with the sunglasses. I'm not gonna lie, but I think they're okay, right? Wait, let's put that in a group, and whoops, that's supposed to be in there too. Let's put all of this in a group and open and close. Yeah, the glasses add something for sure. But yeah, she's so groovy. Yeah, thanks. All right, thank you guys. Thank you so much for being there with me. It's a pleasure to be able to do those lives. Today was particularly super cool. Thank you for the great questions, Sanjit. Thank you everybody that asked questions. I'm hoping to see you all guys next week for the next prompt. We are doing, again, peach haze. So I'm assuming I'm going to do something with smoke and clouds or whatever. If you guys want to join the Discord community called the Tribe, this is the paintable community. Please do. If you have any questions and any feedback in there, I'm there, but also a lot of other artists just like you that are very respectful and will be helping you along your journey. We have some amazing moderators that literally set the bar really high for the people. Not as in we don't judge people. We want to make sure that people are nice in there. That's all we do. And if you're nice, then you're welcome. And everybody was super nice today. So thank you so much for joining. So yeah, have a great day. Happy painting. Happy New Year again. And I'll see you guys next week. Have a great one. Ciao, ciao.